Hi, everybody. I'm effing controller. This is the 1,000 subscriber. I had to look at how many subscribers we were commemorating here. What an idiot. This is the 1,000 subscriber Q&A special featuring me, effing controller, and we're going to be answering questions asked by the myriad viewers of my channel, most of which were pretty doggone good, actually. I was surprised that nobody, went lowbrow on me or anything like that. I don't think anybody did. Maybe I missed a few references or something like that. Somebody used a little bit of innuendo and I'm completely oblivious to it, but whatever. This is going to be pretty fun, I think, I hope. So let's actually get things started by showing you effing Controller Studios. There's a fucking motorcycle going by. Anywho, badly timed. Let me see what I'm pointing at. Well, that's a fan. It's my biggest fan. And that's a patio, which is not technically a part of effing Controller Studios. That is my computer, and it is a stalwart companion. It has been through a lot, and I'm glad to have it. I'll tell you a little bit more about it later, I suppose. That's probably something that deserves its own little spiel. This is my new widescreen monitor, which I just got a few days ago, and it was instrumental in the completion of the effing Controller stream that happened a few days ago, which I'm working on getting onto YouTube, so stay tuned for that. And then this is my old 4.3 monitor, which is why all of my previous Let's Plays have been in 4.3. It's served me very well over the years. What am I pointing at now? Was I even pointing at the 4.3 monitor? Well, there it is. That is a bookshelf to make me look fake smart. That is a door to where I poop. Well, that's an actual bathroom. It's not like... So it's not some room I've just randomly selected as the one where I'm going to poop. It has a functioning toilet. I mean, I've been known to do that in other homes, but this one is a proper bathroom. This is the guitar that I need to play more. That's a shredder for all my various incriminating documents. And that's a poster, actually, from the Stella Comedy Troupe, comprising Michael Ian Black, Michael Showalter, and David Wayne. And it's signed by them, so you guys suck. Let's see here. Just adjusting the mic a little bit. Might as well get started here with the questions and go off screen. Sorry, guys. Why am I apologizing? You should be happy to see me leave. The first batch of questions were asked by a fellow by the name of Tengu190. And he asked me a raft of questions, which I shall answer thusly. His first question is, what is your day job? And a similar question was actually asked by another user named Dino117. What can you tell us about your job, up to and including the level where you have to kill us afterwards? I would never do such a thing. Let's see. Well, it's a ticklish topic, isn't it? I've brought it up a couple of times. Did I really call it ticklish? Good lord. Off to a great start. It's something where I've brought it up periodically throughout my Let's Playing career, if you can call it that. And I've always been kind of coy about it. And the reason for that is ultimately that I really can't talk about it. It's something where my employer has they have some rules in place about what we can and can't talk about, and that's something where I don't want to really flirt with the line. I'm happy to flirt with just about anything else, including inanimate objects, but I don't want to end up getting into trouble, I guess is the point. And it's something where I have enough restraint and respect for what I do, even though I want to move on, that I feel like I really don't want to imperil that. So I realize I'm dodging the question, but I can't really talk too much about it. I can say, I guess, that I work for the government, and that might lead you to think that I'm a spy, but I'm not, of course. God, what do you think? Would I just admit that, or could that be a double bluff? Who can say? Now you don't know what to think. But yeah, I mean, I wish I could talk about it more, come to think of it, because it's interesting work. Having said that, I do want to do something else, but it's something that, I want to move on, but I go home feeling like I've done something worthwhile, and I guess that's probably as much as I can say, unfortunately. But like I was saying, actually, I'm moving on. I'm actually enrolled in a computer science program at a local university. So I'm hoping, and that's actually going to be starting the 1st of January in 2014. So I'm planning on quitting my job before then and going back to school full time to get into computer science. And I really regret not having gotten into it earlier, because I really have found that it's come very naturally to me. And so, if there's anybody out there who thinks that they want to code, because I've been taking Python and I don't know shit about programming, and I'm knocking it out of the park, you guys. I'm telling you, it's like falling off a log. But if you ever have that feeling that you want to try it, then try it. It's free. Do it. And maybe you'll end up like me. Maybe you'll discover that it's something that you want to spend more time on. So, especially if you have a shitty job, that also motivates you to do other things too. So, I guess I've answered that question and then some. Tengu also asked me how old I am. He said age. Fair enough. I am 29 years old. Actually, as of a few days ago, I had my birthday on May 21st, which happens to be the birthday of Mr. T, the notorious B.I.G., the famous, I think he's Dutch. Is he Dutch or German? Well, the early Renaissance painter Albrecht Dürer, and did I say Jeffrey Dahmer? Yep, he has my birthday too. That sucks, but it's a good birthday. I think I'm right on the cusp between being a Gemini and a Taurus. So if you mess with the bull, you get the horns. Boo. Let's see. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, am I married or dating? Well, I'm both. No. Well, I guess I take my wife out on dates. I meant to imply that, never mind. I've been married to my wife Katie for 2.5 years. Got that right in time. I didn't hesitate too much. All right. I hesitated enough on the time there to make it seem like I was really being thoughtful about it. But you know me, I'm not very thoughtful. Actually, it's more like 2 years and 8 months. But we've been together since 2004, so we're getting close to 9.5 years together. And I get a little emotional talking about it, it's a long-term relationship and all that stuff, but we've been through a lot together, and she's my best friend. And I figured, I'm a lucky guy, I should marry my best friend, and it's been really nice. It's been a good partnership, and she understands my perverse interest in this little hobby of mine, and that's pretty much all I can ask for a lady to be this understanding is pretty unusual, I think. But I don't know. She's good other than that too. She has other things that she brings to the table other than allowing me to sit in front of a computer and talk to it while I play video games. So another question from Tengu is, will I be doing a modern sub game like Aquanox 1 or 2, or the complete naval combat pack that is on Steam? He's been pushing the complete naval combat pack pretty hard on me. He's mentioned it, I think this is like the 3rd time he's mentioned it to me, and I do genuinely want to try it, but time is really a precious commodity for me in this whole Let's Playing business, and I find that there are just too many games, and hence why I actually watch Let's Plays, is just I don't have enough time to play most of the games that are out there that I want to play. So complete naval combat pack, though, obviously is germane to kind of the repertoire of my channel. So I'm gonna probably give it a whirl. What I do is I keep a list of all the different games that I want to play, and it's in a big black book. It's in some kind of Necronomicon thing that I carry with me and use it to smite people with. But I write things down in it as I think of it, or as I think of them. So it's in there. It's in the big black book. And Aquanox, I haven't really... I've seen some of the voiceovers for it sound completely ridiculous, which I think would be a lot of fun. But I haven't seen a whole lot of it, and I didn't play it when it was new-ish. So I'll add it to the list as well. But you know, there's a lot of different things that I want to do. There's a few other questions in the rest of this where people ask me, "Are you going to play this? Are you going to play this?" And I can't say that I won't, but I can't say when I will, unfortunately. So I'll address each one of those as the questions arise, I guess. But I guess to answer that question, it's on the list. So the next question is from the Pilot Forever. Have you ever played IL-2 Sturmvik before? And indeed I have. I love IL-2 Sturmvik, but I don't have a joystick, and I think that that's really kind of imperative for a game like that. What I've been playing it on, actually, is this. Right here is Logitech Gamepad, which is not really ideal. So I have to turn down the difficulty and stuff, and it's kind of just a sad imitation of IL-2. So if I guess to answer the question, I have played it before. I do enjoy it quite a lot. And if I get a joystick and if my computer doesn't, you know, barf all over itself, I would love to Let's Play it. But a computer upgrade is a little bit far off into the future at this point, so don't hold your breath unless you're into that. The next question is from Mechanized Fantasy. Mac and cheese, craft or Velveeta. I almost said vanilla. That would be disgusting. Craft or Velveeta. I had to discuss this with the wife a little bit because we don't really eat Velveeta in our house. We tend to eat craft or the organic equivalents, the Amy's or whatever it's called. For those of you outside of the United States, or I guess the West Coast even, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But I ended up kind of deciding something. There's so many different ways that this question could be interpreted. And, you know, what did I eat growing up? I ate Kraft. What do I prefer between the two? Probably Velveeta, to be honest. In my recent samplings of mac and cheese, I do think that Velveeta is probably the superior product, but you really can't argue with the convenience and flavor of Kraft. Velveeta tastes a little bit better. They're both not that good, but I'd have to say Velveeta is it just is more luxurious. It has a nice texture. I don't know. I'm making shit up at this point. I guess Velveeta would probably just eke out Kraft a little bit. Although, to be honest, have you had Stouffer's? Come on, man. That is like, of all the mass-produced mac and cheese, Stouffer's is pretty solid. I like to make it myself as well. I like to, make the bechamel sauce and the cheese, and I'm kind of a geek with cooking. But to answer the question, again, Velveeta. Faux show. The next question comes from Yadirarivera, which is phrased as a question, although it is really a command. Show your face! Okay. And then also Yadira. I don't know if Yadira is a man or a lady's name, but it is, by the way, can you play Rise of Flight? I can, but again, we're kind of hamstrung by my lack of a joystick. So, it's on the list. Rise of Flight looks ridiculously fun. Oh, and that was something I was going to mention about IL-2. If you're hankering for an IL-2 Let's Play, you should check out Tailmange's channel. Tailmange is on my sidebar, which is now on the right side of my channel page. He's got a picture of an American opossum on his user icon. If you click that, you'll get all the IL-2 you can stand, and then some. So he does other stuff too. In fact, he does Silent Hunter 3. I'm sure that some of you are already familiar with him, but if not, go check him out. Rise of Flight, though, that looks like a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to getting a joystick and playing it. And again, I think I might need to do an upgrade before I do recordings of it. So a little bit far off into the future as well, unfortunately. Next question is from Aricula1, which is, what is and how do you do? Yes. And how do you do today, sir? I don't know what that means. Next question from Corporal Cabbage. Will you ever do a Let's Play of Silent Hunter 5? Modded, of course. Yeah, I probably will, but it's I haven't played it that much. I don't even think I own it. I played it a while ago, and it was not polished at all at that point. Um, so I mean, I would be interested to see how the modding is going on it, and I'm also interested to see how it performs on my computer now. But I mean, it's on the list. I'm gonna keep using that answer, I guess. Um, it looks like it has improved significantly. Like I've seen, what's his name, J2 John or J Squared John Jeremy, who did a Silent Hunter 5 Let's Play, and it was okay, but it didn't seem like I don't think he was using any mods, and it didn't seem like it was any better than Silent Hunter 3 in my opinion. So honestly, I think I would rather do a new Silent Hunter 3 Let's Play with different mods, maybe, or new mods or whatever. Just because I like Silent Hunter 3, I don't know if I really have a driving desire to play Silent Hunter 5. So it's on the list. Next question from Reese Kleiner-Kathofer is flight sims. I like flight sims. I enjoy them. I would like to let's play them. I think that those are the possible iterations of that question. I hope. I have played a flight sim. In fact, I've played Hellcats Over the Pacific. So you can just chew on that for a while before I, do another one. Deal with it. The next question is from Cosmo2897, and it is, what is your address? Well, I don't think I'm going to tell you my address, but I do live in Portland, Oregon, as I mentioned, which is sunnier than you think, and it is a pleasant little burg. I like it here a lot, actually. I grew up here. I'm actually a native Portlander, which is a rare thing. Seems like a lot of people who live here move out, or a lot of people who live here now are not necessarily from here. And I guess it's been true actually for most of Portland's history, but that's a whole other can of worms. I'm not going to get into that. There's a big, I wouldn't say a big, it's kind of a understated grumble that people have about Portland being full of Californians and stuff. I don't think that people have really, I think people have moved on from that mostly. But I don't know. I like it here. It's nice. It's it's home. There you go. That's a good answer. Next question is from Tirso, and it is, what are your preferred game genres? Oh boy, I think I can play just about any game in any genre. I don't think that there's any that I'm absolutely against. I guess maybe horrible hentai dating sims. Maybe I think that that's probably one where I'm not interested. I'm gonna have a drink of my beverage. 1 second. Mm-hmm. Dog blood. I mean, as far as the ones that I prefer overall, definitely would be strategy and simulators and RPGs for sure. Those are all three solid genres for me. Probably simulation's the best. I guess that is kind of obvious. And I mean, not just flight sims and submarine sims, but I mean like the sim games in general. I grew up on the sim games. I grew up on SimCity and Sim Earth and Sim Ant and Sim Life and Sim Syllabim, and they're all fantastic games, and they are all very influential in who I am today as a gamer. As far as like what I'm least, other than like a silly answer with the hentai games, I probably would say that the least likely genre for me is sports, and it's not because I dislike sports or sports games in general. I like quite a lot of them. I like Game Day, which I guess doesn't exist anymore, but I guess that's part of the thing though, is I like the sports games for games that I've actually played. Like I played football in high school, and I played rugby in high school. I've tried playing rugby computer games, and they're terrible. At least for me, they just don't feel anything like playing rugby. And I guess that's the problem, I guess, with sports, is that I am constantly mentally drawing comparisons between the game itself and the sport that it's meant to represent. And that's just my own little neurosis. So, nothing against people who like sports games, I guess. But To answer the question, that's probably my least favorite, but it's not like I hate them. I love Tecmo Bowl. God, I could play Tecmo Bowl all day, even though it's not a very realistic replication of playing football. I guess that's part of it, is that it's not really trying that hard. But you can usually keep my interest with any kind of strategy simulator, RPG kind of thing. The next question comes from Raptor X911. Will you ever play Battlestations Midway / Pacific? Totally selfish question. I don't know why it's selfish. Did you make them? I don't know. I'm totally open to any kind of suggestions, you guys. You don't have to feel bad with me, at least, about suggesting a game. You just have to have the understanding, which I will probably regret saying this, but you have to do it with the understanding that I may not play it. So, if I start getting a bunch of people saying, "Why don't you play Minecraft?" then I'm gonna eat my words, I guess. But not that there's anything wrong with Minecraft, but I would say I'm interested in Battlestations Midway and Pacific just because they seem more like I was talking about with Tecmo Bowl earlier. It's like Tecmo Bowl is football, but not trying that hard. And Battlestations is like, Isle 2 or Silent Hunter in a way, just a little bit more arcadey and a little bit more fun. So that sounds pretty good to me. I'm interested in trying them out. I haven't played them before though, so they're on the list. Actually, he has a follow-up. Is that a question? It's not a question. Also, congratulations, Effing Controller. You are my favorite LPer, man, and I watch a lot of Let's Players, so I think you deserve many more subs, and I plan to see you get there by any means necessary. Unless it's illegal or requires work. That is a very smart statement, my friend. I like your caveats. Next question from Krilla Childs. Will you play Silent Hunter 5 multiplayer? That's, I guess, related to the previous Silent Hunter 5 question. I haven't played any of the Silent Hunter games in multiplayer, which I probably should. I think that would be fun because, it would just be worth a try. The problem, though, I believe, is that the two players have to have synced up versions of the game. So if you're using a bunch of mods, then it might cause some problems. And if you're using different mods from your host, then it wouldn't work out that well. I don't know if the games do like checking between the two different computers to see if everything's synced up or not, but I would like to give it a try, I guess. The next question is from Jack Renfrew. Renfu. All right. It's not a question, but whatever, I'll read it anyway. It's, if there were any justice in this world, you'd have at least 100,000 subscribers. Guess there's no justice. Well, my friend, there is no justice, but street justice. The next question is from Sergeant Bird 09, and it is, do you have any pets or plans to get a pet? And there is another question from Clouder, aka the Man for Reals, which he claims is a question of a grand scale which will shake the very foundation of my subscriberdom. What breed is my dog and what is his name? Because we know you have a dog. We know almost everything about you. We've been watching you for a long time now. Well, my dog, and actually Akuda721, actually answers part of that question by saying that I do have a dog named Fergus. He is an Australian Kelpie. He's about 40 pounds, and I'm going to see if I can get him in on the show. One moment. Okay. Here we go. This is Fergus. He's licking my hand because I just ate dinner. Okay, that's kind of gross. It's kind of awkward. See, there he is. He's licking my arm. Apparently, I am a messy eater. He has a little bed under my computer here where he likes to hang out sometimes. See, he just likes to get all nice and snuggly there. Say hi to the internet. Say hi to the internet. Loser. Well, that's Fergus. He's actually a really good little guy. I kind of feel bad for yelling at him. He actually is a rescue from the Oregon Humane Society. They brought him up from Merced, California, where he was actually going to be put down. But Oregon Humane Society has this thing called the Second Chance Program, so that they bring in dogs from other shelters, and if they're about to be put down. And he has some eccentricities, shall we say. He's got some spinal issues, so he kind of staggers like a sailor when he walks. It's kind of funny. He's overall kind of uncoordinated, but he's the sweetest dog I've ever met in my entire life. And I just love him to bits. And he's very, very calm and docile. He's getting, I think he's about 7 years old. So he's getting into his autumn years. But he's definitely, he likes to go on our little hikes and stuff, and he's a good dog. He's my best buddy, and he's oftentimes with me while I'm Let's Playing and cursing at my computer. So you can imagine most of what I'm saying being said in the presence of a dog who just doesn't know what the hell to think of me. All right, so that was Fergus. Thank you very much, Fergus. You've been wonderful. Let's see. Next question is from the Death Cat, aka Lethal Feline. He says, "We did it, and I helped. Also, finally an effing stream," in reference to the stream that I had a few days ago, which I'm struggling to get onto YouTube, but that's a story for another time. What outdoor activities do I enjoy? I like, as I mentioned, actually, I like hiking a lot. I try to do some kind of outdoorsy thing every weekend, and that often takes the shape of a hike. We have plenty of hiking opportunities here in the greater Portland metropolitan area, and the Columbia River Gorge is probably my favorite place to go. There's all kinds of different hikes you can go on in there, and hiking is top 10, top tier for me. Fergus sneezed. Okay. I like to go fishing too. I actually was talking a little bit with Lethal about fishing. We have some decent fishing. It doesn't seem like it's as good as it used to be, but I like to go fishing still. It's not. There's more to fishing than catching fish, ladies and gentlemen. And I like to just go and sit and have a moment to think. It's a good Zen exercise for me. I like to fish just for the sake of just communing with nature and being like one with the water, man. It's like, it's totally just, it's just Zen. It's Zen as fuck, guys. It's like, okay. Yeah. Other than that, I like, I'm not really into too much else. I've gone hunting before. It's not really my thing, and it's not really because I mind blood or anything like that. It just, I don't know, it's cold. And if I want to go for a hike, I'll just go for a hike instead of doing it with, what do they call it, heavily armed hiking? I don't know. It's not for me. I used to play more sports. Back when I was a young lad, I used to play football and rugby, and I used to play soccer and stuff, but I busted up my knee in the junior year of my high school career, and it kind of curtailed some of my outdoorsmanship, my outdoor activities. So I haven't been as active outdoors as I'd like to be. I would love to try snowboarding, but I'm sure it would be just agonizing for me. Or skiing or whatever. I mean, I would love to get into some mountain sports. Snowshoeing actually sounds like it would be a lot of fun because I like hiking anyways. So that's just like a hike in the snow, right? Pretty sure that's how it works. I think another thing, and this is still, I guess, technically hiking, but I like to go berry picking. And as that doesn't sound like an outdoor activity, I guess, but not too far from here we have huckleberry fields, and if you're not from, I think it's mostly a US and Canada thing where we have huckleberries, but for those of you who don't know what a huckleberry is, it's a little berry that's like a blueberry that grows on a bush, and they grow in the mountains, and you can go out and pick them usually. And they're very nice, and it's a nice little way to spend a summer day. So that's one of my other activities. I feel kind of embarrassed for saying I like to go huckleberry picking, but I don't know. I like camping and stuff. What do you want from me? Now I'm suddenly getting hostile in response to a pretty legitimate and actually fair question, but whatever. So I like, most of all, I like fishing though. Or hiking. What is wrong with me? I like hiking and then fishing, probably. If one and then the other. Okay, let's move on. The next question is from Kate Zor1, and it reads as follows. I farted. Will you come over and smell it? Well, I suppose it'll eventually drift my way anyways. Next question is from The Truth on Life. What is the humor you have but you can only answer in movies? And I kind of debated with myself on how I'm supposed to answer this question, whether it's like I'm supposed to use the title of a movie to describe my sense of humor. Like the literal meaning of the title being my sense of humor. And in that case, that would be The Crying Game. But the movies, I guess, that have influenced me would probably be anything involving Chris Farley. The Big Lebowski definitely is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I like Anchorman, which I think most men my age do because we're all man children. But I like Monty Python, which is kind of a idle thing to say. I think most people, again, most males like Monty Python. I like there's this movie by the guys that I mentioned over on that poster over there called Wet Hot American Summer, which is a good little flick. You should check it out. They also did some shorts as a part of their comedy troupe called Stella. So if you look up Stella on YouTube, there's a good chance. Well, I don't know if they have them up anymore, but you can check that out and you might get some insight into my particular sense of humor. There's another probably influence in Police Academy because I love me some Steve Guttenberg. And now I'm just getting silly. I don't know. Zardoz. There you go. Next question. Were you into naval history? Oh, this is asked by IJSCO Man. Ishko Man. Were you into naval history before doing the Silent Hunter LPs, or did you research that stuff because of the LPs? That's a very good question. I have always kind of been interested in naval exploration from a very early age. I was always interested in reading about Captain Cook and Columbus and all the different explorers from during the Age of Sail. And then I kind of had a little bit of interest in naval warfare, I guess, going into high school. I wouldn't say that it was like a passion of mine, but now I'm a lot more interested in it. And I think that what has really kindled that is Silent Hunter. It's really gotten me interested in understanding how, I guess, that facet of war. And it's pretty terrible, and it's, I think, something that's definitely worth knowing about, because war is awful, and we should keep that in mind when we engage in it. But part of my enjoyment of the game, though, too, is like feeling a little bit more connected to that period of time, and having that stuff in mind as I'm going through the game is really important for me to feel like I'm having fun. Like when we sink a carrier, it's not just sinking a carrier, you're sinking a carrier that did things. And, considering the different historical implications of doing what you do in Silent Hunter is kind of fun. And I don't know, it's not for everybody. Obviously, some people are going to be like, oh, I just sank a 40,000 ton ship. That's awesome. That's really all I need. That's fine. I don't think that there's anything wrong with playing the Silent Hunter games in the way that you want to play them. But I just get a little bit of an added thrill from sinking something that I know is historically valuable too. I like to destroy history, I guess is my point. I'm going to take another sip of beer here. That was not a sip. That was a gulp. All right. The next question comes from Uzazi, who says, needs more sexy and Snoop Dogg. Of course, referring to my animated GIF that I use for a lot of my different subscriber features. Well, I've used it twice. I think I used it for the Q&A video, and then also I have it posted somewhere on my blog. And he actually asks another question, which is as follows. Oh, and has anyone really been far even as decided to use even go want to do look more like? Ponder about that. All right, next question is from Ivan Rockland. I don't know if I'm saying that right at all, but there you go. You have a quirky sense of humor. Well, thank you. Was there a certain point in life when I realized that I was funny, and what people slash films slash books formed you into the hilarious off-beating tossy cock we all adore today? Them's fighting words, sir. Was there a certain point in my life when I realized I was funny? I think the difficulty for me with that question is that I think most people are pretty funny. Whether they realize it or not, or whether other people realize it or not. I think that I have found myself laughing at people, well, laughing, not laughing at their plight or misery, but laughing at things that people say, even though previously I might have felt like they weren't a funny person. I don't know. So I guess the reason I bring that up is that I don't know if there is such a thing. It seems like the question implies that funniness is like, there's like a caste of people who are funny. And I don't know if I believe that. But I guess I'm probably reading too much into the question as well. So I think that there was a moment when I kind of realized that I could say things that made people laugh, which is probably the thrust of the question. Back when I was about, let's say 8 or 9, and one of my relatives was kind of, what's the word, kind of griping about something and kind of being a pain, and I said something, and I don't remember what I said, but I got everybody laughing, and it was a bon mot, it was appropriate, it was a witticism, and it got people to laugh, and I was like, hey, I like this. So I think that that's probably what Ivan here is asking about, and I had that moment for sure when I was like, oh, well, shit, this is easy. And it's not easy for me, actually. I'm pretty shy, in all honesty, which is why I Let's Play. Well, not why I Let's Play, but, you know, I'm a different person in my Let's Plays than I am in real life, I guess. But I act a little bit more foolish during my Let's Plays than I do in reality. And as far as what people slash films slash books formed me into some kind of penis joke, I think the people are probably the most influential on me, and it's really the people that I've known throughout my life, whether they be relatives or friends or coworkers. I think that that's probably who I would say most influences me in terms of my sense of humor. Right now, I think my coworkers actually are really influential because I spend a lot of time with them, and we banter a lot, and you know, we say a lot of stupid things. And I say stupid things on my Let's Play channel, so there's the connection. As far as films, I think the films that I mentioned earlier are definitely influential for me. And as far as books, I can't really think of a funny book that really got me. I think I communicate so differently in terms of reading and writing as opposed to speaking and listening that I don't think that the transference is there for me to get my sense of humor from a book. Not that that's a ridiculous part of the question. It just doesn't work for me that way. So, let's see. The next question is from Space for Monkeys. Swag sway. Swag sway. Swag sway. Swag sway. Well done. Next question is another one from Tengu190. And he asks, Polymath, Raconteur, Burrito Inspector. Reason behind this on your Twitter page? My Twitter page, in my bio, I say that I'm a polymath / raconteur / Burrito Inspector, and I guess that the reason that's on there is I'm full of shit. I don't know. I like burritos. I would love to inspect them as a job. That would be pretty great. Although I'd probably get sick of them. It's like how everybody, well, not everybody, how some people think that being a game tester would be really awesome. It's not. Because you end up getting sick of the game. And I don't want to get sick of burritos. A polymath is somebody who, and this is why I'm full of shit, a polymath is somebody who is like a genius in various different fields, and probably the foremost example would be Leonardo da Vinci, although there's certainly others. An American equivalent would probably be Ben Franklin, who was really good at lightning and fucking, and Thomas Jefferson probably, you know, he designed his own house, and you know, he was interested in all kinds of different fields of study. So I'm probably not a polymath. I guess I am interested in different things, but I wouldn't that's a brag. So I'm explaining this joke and ruining it. A raconteur is a teller of tales, and I'm just trying to make myself sound more interesting. I'm full of shit. That's why that's on there. Okay, next question. Will you be doing another LP of WordPad? If not, O will be angry. Well, I don't want to anger O. It is a mighty and large letter in the alphabet. But probably not another one of WordPad. Gotta be honest, I think it's played out. It is basically the Minecraft of word processors. So I just don't see where I can take it. I'm sorry, buddy. The next question comes from Variax, and it is, what is the strangest thing you've ever eaten? Excellent question. I've eaten a lot of odd stuff in my day. I sound like my dog. Well, Fergus has eaten rocks. He loves rocks, don't you, buddy? Yeah. I think I had to ask my wife again about this because, we both eat together and we both have, similar tastes in some regards. And when we remember a meal, it's because something was odd or really good, but also, like I've eaten elk heart before, and I actually didn't eat that with her, but I ate that with my uncle, who's an avid hunter, and I don't know what he did to it. I don't know if he poached it or what, but it was actually really nice. It was pretty lean. It's not like I took it out of like a freshly killed elk and I pulled it out and it was still beating and I was just like, but it was actually pretty nice. Most muscle, like if it's a really lean muscle like heart or tongue or anything like that, it has, well, tongue isn't that lean, I guess, but I've eaten tongue too. I don't know if that's that weird. But it has kind of a metallic and nickel-y, coppery, irony flavor. Not irony. That sounded the same. Well, anyways, it was good. I would eat it again. And another thing, which is one of those weird Northwestern things, is gooey duck. I've eaten raw gooey duck, which is a type of enormous clam. Despite its name, it is not a duck. It is spelled Geoduck. And I realize that is not anywhere close to how you would think you would pronounce gooey duck, but or spell gooey duck, but that's how it is. And it's an enormous clam, and it looks, I'm just going to say, it looks like a dick. It's like 6 feet long. It's like a giant horse dick, but it's delicious. And it's got kind of a crunchy, actually very sweet kind of flavor to it. I actually would eat it again, too. It's very good. I've eaten bugs. Like, I've eaten the novelty chocolate-covered mealworms and crickets and shit. They're not good. They're just... I think that has more to do with, like, the freshness of the bugs and the crappiness of the chocolate, too. It just isn't... It didn't do anything for me. I would give bugs prepared correctly a try, but those sucked. Something I've been wanting to try, and I don't know if I should admit this. It's going to sound weird, but I really want to try penis soup. And the reason I say that is that there is a Vietnamese soup place that's by my house, and they have really good pho, which is the beef noodle soup, but they have pizzle, is how they label it on the menu, and I always look at it and giggle a little bit. I should try it sometime, just to say that I've eaten penis. Next question is from Tailmange. What is your favorite dinosaur? Another excellent question, and I had to kind of dip back into the memory banks, and I decided that it would probably be the Ankylosaurus, because I used to have this plastic Ankylosaurus toy as a kid, and it was definitely my favorite. Phone's beeping at me. Shut up. We're recording. It was probably my favorite because, they got the fucking armor and the plates and the bashy tail, and they just look kind of congenial too. I don't know. It's a cool looking dinosaur. I think that the Ankylosaurus is probably top 5 most popular dinosaur anyway, so I feel kind of trite for saying that, but they're cool. Next question is from Hypoc1, and it is, what is my all-time favorite game? Oh, and come to Australia. Meaning, please visit Australia. My favorite game of all time? That's another question I'm going to read into too much, I guess. Well, I said it during the Let's Play of it that I did, that Uncharted Waters New Horizons is probably the game that I can just most easily sit down and play if I just need to play a game and feel entertained. But I think all time, probably the game I've liked the most over the years is Myth 2, Soulblighter. That game was really, really fun for me. That's probably the most fun I've had with a game. And out of all the games that I played, that's even including, you know, having started doing this hobby and having a lot more fun with games that way. Myth 2 just was such a great game when it was really in its prime. And I think it has the fondest place in my heart. So I would say Myth 2. I'm going to go ahead and settle on that and not prevaricate and interpret the question unduly. The next question is from Red Monkey 001, which is, what is the most flavorsome liquid you have consumed whilst penetrating the murky depths with your sleek submarine? I like to drink water, usually during my Let's Play sessions, just because my throat does get a little bit raspy sometimes, and I also get thirsty, I guess, but I second to that, I drink coffee, and I'll drink it drip coffee, I'll drink it espresso style, I'll grind it up and shoot it into my veins, although I guess at that point it is not a beverage, but I think on a few occasions I think I have had some whiskey or some scotch while doing my Let's Plays of Silent Hunter, but other than that I don't think I've gotten too adventurous. I drink beer, obviously. This Let's Play is brought to you by this beer. Well, actually I probably shouldn't do that. Should I? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna drink it. Anyways, I do drink beer while Let's Playing occasionally. I don't like to get too crazy with the beverages when I Let's Play. And I think other Let's Players I've talked to kind of share this opinion that it is kind of fun to, loosen up your anxiety a little bit when you are Let's Playing and have a little dram. But to get just slobbering, pants on head drunk and doing a Let's Play isn't a really good idea. So I like everything in moderation. I should try some more interesting beverages while I Let's Play just to see what kind of effect we can turn it into a whole series about what beverages provide the best commentary. Perhaps, I don't know. Sounds like something I could get a research grant for. Yeah. And then finally, that's also not a question. Finally, we have Mr. Sencha, who says 1,000 subscribers. Well done, Mr. Effing. Thank you very much. And actually, thank you to everyone, because this is, I like to think of my channel as being kind of a community. I mean, we don't talk a lot. We don't have barbecues or anything like that. I would like to, though. If this were an actual community, I would like to think that Effing Controllerville had barbecues and maypoles and strip clubs and probably a few drive-by shootings every now and then. And I think that we've got a good thing going here, and it is all pretty much thanks to you guys. I do put work into this, but it is all inspired and provoked by you guys. And so as much as I am going to take credit for getting to this milestone, obviously it's you guys that have gotten me to this milestone, because you are the subscribers. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you all for propelling me like a propeller on a submarine through the briny deep. Oh, I was going to talk about my computer. Well, let's point at my computer real quick. This is kind of discursive at this point, but that computer that you see there, which doesn't look very computery like that. There's the fan. Get out of the shot, fan. These fans always want to get on camera. That computer is the same one that I've had since 2007, about April of 2007, just about, with some minor alterations, because the previous, I guess, incarnation of this computer was involved in a fire. I'm being completely literal. Back in 2007, some enterprising young chap decided that he would light a bunch of dumpsters on fire on my street. And it just so happened that one of the dumpsters that he lit on fire was directly below my window, and the fire crawled up the side of my apartment complex, and it burned in the wall space. It didn't actually burn the computer, so I guess I was lying when I said it was literally in a fire. But, well, no, I feel comfortable actually with that, now that I'm thinking about it. But what happened was the firefighters, in the course of fighting the fire, would pull down the wall and the roof and everything, and so when I came into that room after the fire was put out, I saw it there with a melted faceplate. It was on its side. There was a burned book next to it. The monitor had some warping. It was just not a pretty sight, and I was very despondent because I just recently bought it. It's a blazing fast E6300 Core 2 Duo, and it is thus kind of in need for an upgrade. But everything that is in that computer, though, with the exception, or that was in that burned computer, with the exception of, I think, the motherboard and the power supply, I was able to salvage it and get it working on in this new Antec Sonata 2 case. And so it's very hard for me to part with it. So I'm happy that it's still in my life and I'm able to bring you guys joy with it. So I'm sorry I had to tack that on at the end. I meant to mention that earlier, but I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? I'm forgetting somebody. So that is it. This has been the 1,000 subscriber special, and again, I really want to thank you guys. This has been a hobby that I didn't really think would go anywhere, but seeing where it's gone fills my heart with joy, and I'm glad that I'm making some people happy out there. So thanks everybody. Look forward to keeping on with making these videos for you, and look forward to 2,000. Maybe we'll have another Q&A. Maybe I'll take my pants off. Who says I'm wearing pants right now? Yeah, it's time to stop. All right. See you guys later.